Thanks for checking out the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to see me play your deck, hang out with me in the amazing BoshNRoll community in Discord, access to my lists and sideboard guides before tournaments, book an individual coaching session, or just generally want to support what's going on here, check out the Patreon and YouTube membership options. For the finest Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, use code BoshNRoll for 10% off your order at coalesceapparel.shop. Moxfield.com is the easiest way to build a Magic deck online. If you want to play what I'm playing, use my affiliate link to support the channel while you shop for cards at tcgplayer.com and play any deck anytime on Magic Online with a cardhoarder.com loan account. Thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today, at the request of Patreon subscriber Matthew, I am playing a Dimir POX brew. Before we jump in here, Matthew wanted me to shout out the Campus Cards and Games Magic community. What's up, everybody? Thank you, Matthew, for sponsoring the league, and all of you for hanging out with Matthew. So the challenge here that Matthew wanted was POX, which the BoshNRoll community should appreciate, because all you sickos just send my videos to the moon every time I play POX in Legacy. This is the first time I've played it on the channel in Modern, I think. But I actually have a history with this. I did pretty well in a couple Star City events with Black-White POX in like probably 2017, 2018, I would ballpark. And played that deck a few times, genuinely thought it was good enough to take to a regional Modern tournament. And Smallpox is still a powerful card that nobody is playing around right now. Matthew wanted the deck to be blue because he's really into Academy Ruins, just really wanted an Academy Ruins plus Urza Saga artifact game plan involved somewhere in our POX deck. So that's all here. Academy Ruins, put target artifact from your graveyard on top of your library that lets you recycle the Spellbomb, Expedition Map, different Spellbomb, Pithing Needle, and most importantly, the racks. You get a couple of these in play, your opponents die pretty quick. All of these cards also come out of Urza Saga. And then there's a Crucible of Worlds for the Omega late game situation where no matter where Crucible is, eventually you can Academy Ruins it to the top of your deck, cast it, and then start playing Saga side of your graveyard. So there is a mega late game situation planned for here. The one Misfault Bridge is in case you need to hit a land drop off of, if you have time to like develop your lands out of your graveyard, that's what that's here for. To use the blue mana additionally and didn't just want to splash a whole color for Academy Ruins, I've got a couple Consigned to Dreams, or Consigned to Oblivion. Consigned to Dream is a different card. Consigned to Oblivions in the deck. The front half Consign, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. This answers the things that sneak through our discard. And the Oblivion is just more discard, and it works from the graveyard. If we end up just shredding through this with a Liliana, we can go straight to Oblivion and don't even need to consign. So Consign to Oblivion in here as a generic catch-all and just on-theme answer to stuff and some more discard. Drown in the Loch. Our opponent's graveyards are going to be pretty full because our deck's full of discard and ways to put things in their graveyard. Little bit of anti-synergy with Nile Spellbomb, but we can pick our spots and we don't have to pop Spellbomb if we're holding Drown in the Loch. And we don't have to tutor up Spellbomb if we're on a Drown plan. You know how it is. A little bit of friction there, but we should be pretty good at refilling their graveyard too, even after a Spellbomb. But Drown in the Loch, just really great modern Magic card that I'm excited to have access to in my deck. We get the bounce ability on Aether Spellbomb as well, off the blue mana, and then I was looking for things that are card advantage engines that can also help win a game and also don't care about Smallpox, and Kaito Shizuki fit the bill. This is, I think, the most experimental card in the deck here, but I've played Kaito in a couple different shells on the channel before, and I've been impressed every time. So Kaito Shizuki chilling in the list here. And then the POX part of the deck, we've got Smallpox itself as a 4 of course. We want to cast that spell early and often. The discard package, I have Inquisition and Thoughtseize split because your life total does matter and Modern's curve is pretty low, but sometimes you got to take an Omnath or a Solitude or something. So split the Inquisitions and Thoughtseizes, but I'm not split on Wrenchmind, just full 4 of that one. This is the closest thing to Hymn to Tourach we get in the format. Ooh, I just realized I should probably have actual Tourach in this deck, probably in the sideboard, but I'll mess around with that in a second. But Wrenchmind is actually 2 mana, target player discards 2 cards unless they discard an artifact. Not every deck has an artifact. There are a lot of Mishra's Baubles kicking around, but players will usually deploy those before you're at 2 mana and then realize after the fact that it would have been worth more cards if they just didn't play it. We'll see how often that comes up, but Wrenchmine is going to be a 2 mana discard too pretty often. And then because Modern is full of good creatures, we've got Bloodchief's Thirst and Fatal Push to just keep us alive until our engines get online. This format does not ramp the way that Legacy does. There's no black rituals legal in this format. We don't get Dark Ritual, not even Cabal Ritual. There's no Mox Diamond, there's no Chrome Mox. All that stuff is banned, so we got to go fair and square, work our way up to 3 mana to get our Lilianas online. We don't get to turn 1 them. And that's the plan. I was about to fire into this league, but I would like to find room for a Tourach or two, because Tourach is just really good against the 4-color blink decks, just as a magic card on its own. Ensnaring Bridge was on my list. It was in Matthew's main deck originally, but we're an Urza Saga deck. Our plan is actually to attack to win a lot of the time, so I put it into the sideboard, and with all the removal in this deck, I'm not even sure we need Ensnaring Bridge at all, so I'm going to cut that. And how often do we need a second Pithing Needle? There's one in the main deck already. It's tutorable. We can recur with Academy Runes. Yeah, I'm going to shave the second Pithing Needle. I'm going to get 2 Tourachs in here. There they are in the sideboard. Could be a strong argument that they should just be in the main deck over the 2 Kaitos. Like, there was a Nether Spirit in the early build of this deck, which is why I was on Kaito, because Kaito doesn't actually make creatures, but it does make creatures. But I cut the Nether Spirit to make room for other stuff, so maybe Tourach just belongs in this main deck. I'm actually making that change. And Kaito can come in against, like, control decks, where drawing the extra cards matters a lot. Okay, I'm in for that. Let's try it. Suddenly, Tourach in the main deck, supporting the Wrenchbind, Thoughtseize, etc. stuff. Tourach does create some tension with Smallpox, though I guess if I'm in an emergency, I could Mishra's Factory or Urza Saga to make a different creature to sacrifice. Alright, I'm in. Let's do this thing. This is Dimir POX from Matthew. Let's try it out. We are on the draw in round 1. I have a turn 2 Wrenchmind and a Smallpox. I'm keeping this. I kind of wish this Mistvault Bridge... I mean, this is going to come up multiple times throughout the league, I have no doubt. Mistvault Bridge being, like, cool tech with the Academy Runes is going to hurt our curve, like, every time we draw it. We'll just see how much that hurts, and if we ever recur the land, if that's even something we want to be doing with the deck. Alright, Lucky. Don't even need to do that anymore. I could Pithing Needle, or I could just get the Rack into play. I also don't really want to get the Rack into play. I'm just going to play the Vault. Mistvault Bridge tapped. Like, I don't know what I need to Pithing Needle yet. I could just, like, blind name Teferi against this Flooded Strand deck, and then they're just, like, Delver or something. You don't actually know yet. And the Rack I can do later. Like, hanging the Rack out there so they know what they're playing against could be a mistake this early. Consider dumping Otawara off Basic Island. Okay, not a mono blue deck. And look at this. The thing I said turned out to be true, which is I could just randomly name Teferi, and they are Izzet instead. This is a Mishra's Bauble deck. They have generously filled their graveyard for this Drown in the Loch to kill their 2-drop. Doesn't happen often, but I'm after it. So I can Drown in the Loch the Ledger Shredder right away, and then if they follow up with a Murktide Regent, I got Smallpox for that. I'm going to play Urborg and Drown in the Loch this thing right now, before they can exile their graveyard, and I'm not able to do that anymore. Because of Urborg, Saga taps for black. We got some action here. Cracking a Scalding Tarn that for some reason doesn't have any art. Magic Online is super laggy for me right now. I'm going to have to reset it after this game, try to kick some of the dust off it. It's a big old graveyard, but they just tapped their extra mana DRC. Got it. 4 cards left in their hand, and they did leave up Spell Pierce. I was about to say they just did not leave up Spell Pierce, but now they did. What do we got here? I'm gonna Urza Saga for sure. And I think I should Wrench Mind. The Spell Pierce is gonna get something no matter what. And I think Smallpox is more important to actually resolve. Yeah, got me with the Spell Pierce. Left the card on top of the deck. Hate that for me. And let's get a rack on here. They are currently taking 0 damage. We'll see if we can ramp that up. Terrified of Murktide Regent, as usual. It is the life of the modern and legacy player these days. Ragavan and Murktide Regent are just completely disrespecting Smallpox. Yuck. Okay. It's fine, though. Yeah, just too many creatures. Come on, second Smallpox. Is that even good? Does that even win me the game? I don't think it does. Okay, I can make a 2/2 that can engage with Ragavan or a DRC. I can play Smallpox, but then I don't get to do any Saga stuff. And I want to do Saga stuff. I'm going to play Pithing Needle. And I can name Mishra's Bauble. Just trying to think of cards that could matter that I could name here. Yeah, I'll name Bauble. I think that's better than trying to spike Scalding Tarn and cut them off lands. Like, getting actual cards out of the mix is pretty important here. Now my Saga tokens are 3/3s, and they are taking a point from the rack. And Aether Spellbomb is ready to arrive next turn. Okay, they clearly have Lightning Bolt. And I'm still gonna make the play that I have. Oh wait, it's a 4/4. I forgot about the land! Oh, I forgot about the land. That's good. Now they have to Unholy Heat on a prayer and hope that the... Or they have Brazen Bar. Oh, Archmage Charm. That's so much worse. Okay, shit. Oh no. That card is not in every build of this deck, and the builds it's in, it's usually a one of, so got wrecked. Though I did not consider construct size as a factor on this artifact land, and we are getting paid for it here, even though we're still going to lose this game dramatically. Okay, so Ragavan gets to... Please don't take my Aether Spellbomb. Thoughtseize. Yeah, if you want to Thoughtseize me, go for it. Yep. Thoughtseize takes the Smallpox. Does deal damage to them, which is something I'm interested in. Draw for turn. What do we got? Drown in the Loch is not bad. Does that mean I don't get to make a construct? Should I make the construct anyway? I think I need to respect Ragavan by making the construct. I'm dead to Lightning Bolt. The same. Yeah, 1 mana short of making the construct. Oh, bouncing the Murktide and drowning in the Loch something. Tricky. I think I want the construct. Make that, then get Aether Spellbomb. Or, oh yeah. I was about to say, is Nile Spellbomb better? But no, I need to get the Murktide out of play first. It is part of this equation here. Aether Spellbomb in the mix. Urza Saga number 2 in the mix. I could also just Drown in the Loch, the Murktide, and save my Spellbomb for later. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm gonna save my options here. But they could just replay Murktide, so I probably should kill it. But I'm worried about all of it. is the truth. All right, I'm just dead to so many things here. I might as well at least take Counterspell off the list of things I'm dead to and kill this Murktide. All right, gotta beat me on the board, which they're probably not going to struggle to do, but still going to make them have it. I'm dead to Unholy Heat, dead to Lightning Bolt. Yep, Unholy Heat, sure. Okay. Just trying to line up that Smallpox with a creature, and then the creature... I got kind of pulled in a weird direction where I wanted to do Saga stuff, but also wanted to Smallpox, and without the acceleration in this format, you don't get to do both. Okay, Bantu's Last Reckoning seems great. And I'm not going to bring in Chalice for 1, because I have a lot of 1-drops in my deck. That's not what that's for. Tourach's actually pretty bad in this matchup. It's easy to answer. Liliana's great. Consign to Oblivion is great. Drown Loch is fine. Pithing Needle does close to nothing. Expedition Map is fine. I'm not sure I'm going to have time to do map stuff in this matchup, though. I don't like Brutality. Ashiok does mess up a lot of what they're doing, but it also doesn't matter against some of the other stuff they're doing. The 3-mana spell. It dies to Unholy Heat. Collect Brutality kills Ragavan. But I have enough discard spells in my deck already. Do I need another removal spell? Do I want to try to interact on the Flusterstorm angle? There's a lot of tough questions to answer here. I think I like these Ashioks. Just keeping Murktide out of play, keeping their engines from going on, turning off their fetch lands in this low land count deck. That makes sense to me. I'm going to try it. Do I want Flusterstorm to fight back on the counter axis? And if so, what's getting cut? I think the answer is no to all. All right, let's do this. On the play, Punished Hard. There are a lot of colorless sources in this deck, which is why we're playing so many Urborgs. Oh my god. Can you keep a hand like this? Is it even an option? I don't believe that it is. Okay, we've got an Urborg. Keep this hand. I'm going to send Liliana and Bantu's Last Reckoning to the bottom. My plan here is to use the discard spells to soften my opponent up to get Liliana in, who can try to win the game by herself. We'll see if that works out for me. Inquisition U, DRC, Ledger Shredder, Spell Pierce, Spell Snare. My goodness. I guess I have to take the Spell Pierce. Yeah, it has to be Pierce. My plan of sneaking Liliana in here still works. Let's see if they hold up Spell Snare. All right, they drew Spiral of Canal for the turn. Holding up Mishra's Bauble and Spell Snare, giving a lot of respect to Wrenchmind. I like that. All right, I got to find a land in these next two draw steps, or else this is all for naught. Okay. There's a Saga. Tourach's at least something to do without a land, but I've done all this work to get Liliana in the mix. Let's see if we can pay it out. I'm going to take, I think, DRC here. That's the more mana efficient one. Like if they want to tap out for Ledger Shredder, I can light it up. All right, I'm taking the Channeler and playing the Rack. And come on, land off the top. No damage from the Rack yet. We need Liliana to show up here. All right, they're doing it. They're doing the thing. Come on, deck. Untapped land. Discarded Pluto Delta off their Mishra's Bauble. Untapped land. Let's go, deck, please. It's time. It's time. Oof. Well, I can at least kill their thing. Disappointing. All right, Ledger Shredder's dead. But Saga is about to go in the graveyard without making a construct, without doing anything helpful. Draw for turn. Come on, land. We could still get Liliana in here. Or not. All right, float black. This fucks off. I'm going to have to get Nile Spellbomb here. Okay, they're just fetching in response because they saw Pithing Needle. I'm getting Nile Spellbomb, though. Put that into play. Cast the Rack. Because if they counterspell this, I want to exile the counterspell also. And then bomb my opponent right now. Because I could still hit a land drop this turn. Okay, the black, yes. Alright, hit a land drop. Lucky. Get your mess out of there. Play my land and pass the turn. Alright, Liliana. You could still do this, my queen. Aggressive Iteration. Yeah, that's a good card. Ragavan. And we know there's the land to cast it in hand. Do they want to dash or just put it into play? Dash has occurred. Dashing it is clever because it keeps their hand count high. Oh, exiled a land. I hate my life. All right, come on, deck. Land. Liliana time. Right now. Right now. Oh. All right, pass the turn. I can at least kill Ragavan. No damage from these racks. So I could activate Mishra's Factory, block, and then tap Mishra's Factory to pump itself because it is an assembly worker. It blocks as a 3/3. But I think doing that is crazy against the Lightning Bolt deck when I'm already struggling for lands. Just going to use this Fatal Push. Ooh, no attack. They just told me they don't have Lightning Bolt loud and clear. I am going to Fatal Push this Ragavan. If they decide they care about this, and we have a little counter war that makes things better for Liliana, this also lets me tap out for Liliana next turn without fear of Ragavan. Oh my god. That's so close to the perfect card. If this game goes that long, that is an insano, but we need the land first. They have so much mana right now. And 5 cards in hand, they can make it 6 with Fire Islet if they want to. Engineered Explosives on 1, sure. That's right. That's fine. My deck's just chock full of win cons. Who needs that one? They've been holding the Spell Snare for the whole game, but let's at least get it out of the hand. These cards are all going to get used some point. Explosives clearing my racks. Magus of the Moon. That's not a card I can beat. Alright. Right on time, land number 3. There are 2 swamps in my deck. I can't play Urza Saga at all under Magus of the Moon because it just dies right away. There's not even a land in my graveyard this could use. Yeah, they're like, okay, resolves. I don't care. Okay, I think we can concede this one. Like, I'm taking for a turn. They're building up treasures, taking my cards. I can't cast anything. There's 2 swamps in my deck that I have to find both of before I can play Liliana. None of my blue cards are on at all. Yeah, we're good here. Thanks for playing. Ruthless pummeling from the best deck in the format. And Multi 5. I mean, I think if land number 3 arrived in reasonable time and we got this Liliana going, it could have been competitive, but, you know, that didn't happen. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and every other format you'll see on this channel. They have multiple customizations so you can view your deck how you want. Text view, stacks, grid, custom grouping by type, subtype, color, light mode, dark mode. However you want to see your deck, they can provide it for you. My favorite feature is you can choose your set printing, make the deck look exactly how you want it to. The deck screen features expandable sections that show you what tokens your deck makes, your recent change history to the deck, stats about mana curve and opening hand distribution, mana cost distribution. You can deal out sample hands and even play test the deck. Island Ponder. You know I'm keeping this one. This site has everything. Follow me on Moxfield.com to keep up with decks I'm playing for the channel and what I'm up to in paper. I'll see you there. On the play in round number 2, I'm going to keep my hand. It's got Liliana, which is one of the most important cards. Fatal Push is good against a wide swath of the format. Not much else going on here, but I think I would rather keep a land-heavy hand in this deck than a spell-heavy hand. There's a lot more lands than a lot more spells than lands, and we're kind of greedy for both cards and mana. Oh god. Full Fatal Push action here. Exactly the matchup you want it for. But this is a good matchup for Smallpox, and I have the Fulminator Mages in the sideboard, and Ashiok. I can just name Karn Liberated off Pithing Needle right away. They didn't play Map. I would have loved to spike Map here, but alright, I'm just going to name Karn. Karn Liberated, okay. And play this Watery Grave tapped, pass the turn. This could be the Prisontron deck that won one of the Star City Columbus main events and doesn't even play Karn Liberated. We'll find out soon. The good news is my Liliana is likely to resolve here. Sylvan Scrying, you got it. Urza's Tower. Drown in the Loch. Not normally good against Tron, but if Liliana ticks up for a couple turns, we might get some action on this. I'm going to discard my Swamp. It'll push. Is it completely blank? I think it is in the main deck. Yeah, I'm actually going to discard Fatal Push. We're just not even close to that being important. Fatal Push is in the graveyard. My opponent discarded Karn Liberated. Got him. We're basically racing the Tron up to Ulamog at this point. They did not play a card. Oh, bummer. Alright. Plus Liliana. I'm going to discard the Swamp. and play Urborg. I don't have any lands in play that aren't swamps right now, but I could in the near future. So I'm gonna keep the Urborg around. I don't think they're gonna use black mana in a way that's important. Who discarded Warping Whale? All right, maybe Fatal Push did have some text. Or we just get Ugined. Great. Play Karn Liberated. Oh no. Oh no. They had it. Yeah, this was just like slightly off. Like if their hand required Expedition Map to function, we would have been okay here. If their hand just didn't have a payoff that wasn't Karn, we might have had some time here. But I mean, obviously, now we're just in the shitter. All right, I'm gonna play the other Liliana. I mean, Ugin can just plus twice and pick off this Liliana, but let's at least beat up their hand some more. This is the only Pithing Needle in my main deck, and it's not on the correct Planeswalker. I do have Bloodchief Thirst that can take out Ugin. Multiple Warping Whales. All right. Keep note of that with all my discard spells. I guess Urza's Saga, like if they don't find a non-Ugin threat, Urza's Saga could create a board state that would be troublesome for them. Relic of Progenitus the turn before I deploy my Crucible. Good stuff. Yeah, exile all graveyards. Let's do it. Playing Boseiju when they could have used it to take out Pithing Needle. That means they don't care. Oh, Swag Tusk in the main deck. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one to beat. Come on, Urza Saga. You're my only hope. And even you are like pretty thin hope. Urza Saga, let's go. Smallpox, interesting. Sucks that I'm exactly a mana short or a Ugin activation short of, or a relic short of doing both of these things and playing from Hellbent. All right, yeah, we're good. I don't need to show them the Smallpox or the Crucible, give them any more information here. They have the deck advantage, but I have Brewer's advantage. Like, they don't know exactly what I'm doing yet. Okay, Fulminator Mage coming in, Ashiok coming in. I cut the second Pithing Needle. I would like it here, but it's fine. We can live without it. Expedition Map, Nile Spellbomb. They're not really a graveyard deck. Tourach I still like, because attacking their hand seems perfectly reasonable. Drown in the Loch. Straight up embarrassing. Not the angle this game's going to be played on. I could bring in Kaito just as a way to pull ahead once I get a foothold. Like, the drowns just have to come out. I guess I could drown like Relic, but I'm not going to hit any of the real cards with it. Needle, Map, Spellbomb. Those are all still fine. Bloodchief Thirst, important. All the discards, important. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. There was an earlier build of the deck where these Flusterstorms in my sideboard were Spell Pierces in the main deck. Those would be better in this matchup specifically, but worse against most other things. Oh, right, Fatal Push is still in my deck. Ashiok is hanging out, but I think I need to do better than this. Those Fatal Pushes should have been something else. I am actually going to keep this one, even though it's kind of clunky and crazy. I'm going to send one of the Sagas to the bottom, or Academy of Ruins. Maybe it's Tourach, because this card just costs black, and unless I draw Urborg, it's completely unplayable. Alright, yeah, I'm sending Tourach to the bottom. And with this Saga draw I'm on, I'm kind of invested in spending my mana for the next many turns. Really sucks that Mistvault Bridge is my land, because Tron on 5, if you can hit them with Inquisition and take a map or a Sylvan Scrying, then maybe their hand doesn't function for a while. It gives you the time you need to breathe. Chromatic Sphere, okay. At least it's not map. Still have a chance to take a Sylvan Scrying. Inquisition you. Warping Whale and Ancient Stirrings. Yeah, Ancient Stirrings can fuck off. Karn Liberated, Blaststone, and Warping Whale is the hand. Alright, this is the kind of hand we can beat, unless we hit those world-famous Tron high rolls. This is where they just crack Chromatic Sphere for green and cast Sylvan Scrying. It begins. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Put it in my veins, Tron player. Okay, Urza Saga's on. We got that going. I'm gonna play Swamp and pass the turn, begin my beatdowns. There's no green mana over there currently. Warping Whale cannot kill my my token because of Mistvault Bridge, arriving as a 2/2. Got that one covered this time. Smallpox, what's up? Okay, awkward because of many reasons, but Karn Liberated is the only payoff in their hand. So I am going to go all the way in on this, make a second construct, play the rack, get my beatdowns going, and then Needle Karn Liberated, and then play another Saga, play the rack, and start attacking. And if they use this Blast Zone to do anything, then Smallpox will hit a Tron land guaranteed. Warping Whale in the upkeep? Why? Don't understand. Why would that be a thing that happens? It could have happened in the end step. That could have not happened at all. Literally what? Not sure what just happened. Ooh, yeah. Okay, Academy Ruins. And I could Bloodchief Thirst, the Scion. I don't think I want to do that, though. I think I want to play the rack and just get in for my 7 damage this turn. I'm just putting the pedal to the metal here. Okay. They decided they'd rather Blast Zone than absorb 7 damage. Put you to 1. Let's go. Literally dead to Smallpox. Even like Oblivion Stone doesn't get them out of this here. What do we got? 4 mana. Use the Blast Zone to dead on board? Sure. Those are still 4/4s. Alright, alright. Land Destruction in hand, didn't need it. The mull to 5 plus discard is always a viable plan when you're playing against a deck that tends to mulligan and you're a discard deck. Natural advantage on that front, and just putting the race on them. Right, these Fatal Pushes should not have been in the deck. What do I want instead? Another Kaito. Is like a pair of Drowns better? Probably. Okay. Close enough to a presentable deck. Let's do it. Okay, Smallpox, the rack, Consign. I am going to keep this. This could be one where I get a Spicidal turn 2 Smallpox that collapses their Tron, and I have enough lands that I won't miss it. Opponent kept 6. Leading on Beseiju. Thanks, I hate it. Smallpox does not break up Tron anymore. Stirring's found Chromatic Star. I can't imagine that's what they were looking for. Oh yeah, let's begin the pain. I'm just gonna fetch Basic Swamp and play the rack, get that started here. Opponent's got 6 cards in hand. There's a Tron land. There's the star. Pop in the star immediately. Are we getting a Stirrings here? Stirrings it is. Found Oblivion Stone. Okay. I hope that they at no point have mana to cast that card. Wrench Mind. Fascinating. I'm gonna Urborg and Smallpox, sacking my Basic Swamp, discarding, Consign to Oblivion. That's my plan. They discarded Karn Liberated. Okay. Hope this works. If I can clip a Tron land next turn with the other Smallpox, I'll be feeling pretty good. Alright, Tron land confirmed. Expedition map. May or may not have the mana to actually activate that next turn. Oh, the Game Ender is in my hand. I think I need to Smallpox, discarding Wrench Mind here. And I'm just gonna sack Polluted Delta, tap it for black, and then sack it. And maybe I want Wrench Mind, because that's a thing I can actually cast next turn, but Ashiok like actually shuts the game down. Now I am gonna lose the Ashiok here and played a Wrench Mind. He discarded Swag Tusk. They will keep 1 artifact around to discard to Wrench. Unfortunate. They are in the taking damage to the rack phase of the game. Oh god, they just had another Tron land, so they will have Tron next turn. Unless I draw another Smallpox. Liliana. Unfortunate. Alright, well, we're gonna Wrench Mind, and they're gonna discard Oblivion Stone, and then we're just at the mercy of whatever that last card in the hand is. Bathing Needle. Okay. Held on to the stone. That makes sense. So their last card in hand is Oblivion Stone. Got it. They're going to take 1 right now, and then they'll take 2 next turn, unless they use O-Stone. Just cast Karn. Let's just do it. Okay. Oblivion Stone. And, alright. I'm doing it. Let's make both of us Hellbent and play to the situation here. Each player discards a card. Their deck certainly has better top decks than mine does. Oh, they didn't O-Stone. That's either Brave or Reckless. Okay, now O-Stone took an extra 3 damage. Alright, let's pay this off somehow. Okay, there's a Saga. Let's go. That's the kind of thing I need right now. Oblivion costs 5. Can't get that one. Okay, how about you just don't spike a Karn? There's no green mana. A lot of their deck is non-functional right now. Tradition map, what's up? Cool. I get to add to my board and do construct stuff. Time to start bashing. Okay, they didn't play a land last turn and then played a land this turn, so they either just drew that land or just drew something worth casting with it. But let's get the race going here. Drown in the Loch. Interesting. There is a strong argument to just leave up Drown in the Loch here and don't do anything, but I'm not doing that. They haven't cast a spell or done anything in the last 2 turns. I'm going to play to my situation here. Or what gets them out of this? I could just Needle. I was gonna rack, but Needle on Oblivion Stone. Yeah, I'm gonna Needle O-Stone. I don't care about Ugin. I don't care about all this dust. My permanents are all colorless. Let's bash. If I untap one more time here, like this is the pivotal turn. If they have like Ulamog right now, I'm in trouble. Karn's not that bad. Ugin's not that bad. O-Stone's turned off. Next turn I can tutor for a Saga, and then Saga with the help of Urborg can cast Drown in the Loch. And they're dead on board the turn after that. Ooh, Kaito. That doesn't give +1. Plus what? Oh, does it? No, it makes a 1/1. Alright, yeah. Alright, I'm just gonna attack, put my opponent to 1. Oh, they're gonna chump block, sure. Okay. Got a little chump. And they go to 5. And I'm gonna Expedition map for another Saga and play that. And I'm holding up Drown in the Loch. That's good for 12. Ulamog can exile my 2 constructs and then take over the game. Oh no, because I'm removing the body. Yeah, Ulamog can hit my 2 constructs and then go to the graveyard. And then Saga can rebuild. Nice. Okay, so that early barrage of smallpoxes didn't keep them off Tron, but it did eat their green source. And they also discarded Karn Liberated and Thragtusk along the way. And either one of those cards would have stabilized this game earlier on once they hit Tron. So the value, like, we didn't fully collapse them and make them do nothing like we were hoping for, but they also didn't actually play the game, which is what we're hoping for. Good shit. That was a pretty good showcase of this deck. Let's keep going. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards, and you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. On the draw for round 3 with an actual 0-lander. I'm going to mulligan that one. Okay, Urborg, 2 lands and some stuff to do. We keep these. Do I want 2 Lilianas or do I want Expedition map to follow up the Lilianas? I think I want the map. Like, having 2 Lilianas makes it more likely one of them's going to stick. Alright, forget it. I talked myself into it. I want 2 Lilianas. Okay. A Grim Lavamancer. My goodness. Okay. I'm going to Thoughtseize this deck that probably also has Thoughtseize in it. Tireless Tracker. Oh, this is just Grandfather Jund. Deal. I'm going to get rid of Wrenn and 6. That card is not beatable. Wrenn and 6 in the trash. Let's go. I'm really glad that Grim Lavamancer. What? What even is this card? At the beginning of each end step, if a player discarded a card this turn, no! makes a birthday. No. Are you serious? This card is both in your deck and you just drew it when I'm about to make you discard cards? I'm quitting Magic. This is it. That was the last chance, folks. Also lines up perfectly against Liliana. What the shit? Fuck my life. Okay. I guess I just have to go in here. Like, let's get this hand empty, even if you get a stupid bird. If a player discarded a card. Okay, so no matter how many players discarded how many cards, only one bird comes out. All right, please miss your land drop. Come on. The old cheat to win strategy. Someone paid for Moto Premium. I'm kidding. They're not cheating. There is no Moto Premium. Conspiracy theorists, please don't enter my comments. Okay, I mean, this is a complete nightmare situation. This Raven idiot fucking up my whole shit here. Now I have to Liliana minus. They sacked the bird that was just totally free. Ugh. The Raven, man. Get out of here. Alright, your bird is safely protecting you. Now they'll draw a fetch land to draw 2 cards. Alright, wasn't a fetch land. Just a regular land. Right, activating this Raven man, making me discard. Yeah, Smallpox is not where this game is going. And that gets to make a bird, which once again dodges everything. The Grim Monolith or Grim Lavamancer also bricks my Tourach. But whatever. Let's put a creature into play and see if I can race with the rack. Lavamancer kills that. They can attack for 5, 6, 7, 8 right now. Wow, this card destroyed me. Unreal. And they're leaving back mana to make sure my Liliana does not do anything. Get another bird out of it. Wow. Okay. The one card, cool piece of technology, but one card arrived right on time to make this from trivial to unwinnable. Shit. Okay, Bantu's Last Reckoning. I think I want. This looks like a Kaito matchup. I'm in. And Nile Spellbomb. They are a Ren and 6 deck, but I have a bunch of ways to deal with the Ren and 6. I guess I really have 2 ways to deal with Ren and 6. 4 if you count Consign. And Pithing Needle, so like 5. That's actually not that many. Either Spellbomb. Do I want to be bouncing creatures? Probably not. I want to be killing them. I have lots of ways to kill creatures. I think the rack is kind of low impact. I can tutor them up when I'm ready for them, but I don't actually want them. I want to be drawing them early. Smallpox seems really risky, but also really good if it pays out. I don't like Tourach because it just dies to red removal so easily. Okay, I'm gonna run it like this. Go a little bit bigger, got some Wraths in, got all my Planeswalkers in. Well, I don't have Ashiok. I have all my Planeswalkers that generate value in. Don't need a prison piece against Jund. Oh no, the no black mana hand. Otherwise good, but gonna have to mulligan it. Okay, 1 black mana is better than 0, but by how much? Yikes. I am gonna keep this hand, and I'll send maybe it's either Drown, Consign, or one of the racks. And the racks are like things I can put into play with the mana I have. I think it's Drown. And then we're just gonna rack up. Jund tries to get both players hellbent. That's like the game plan. So like a pair of racks might actually race them if they're not also pressuring me meaningfully. But we could also just lose here without doing anything. Come on, land. Land. Oh, there's Kaito. All right, extremely interested in drawing a land here, especially if it's blue. A pair of racks are ready to obliterate my opponent if they start doing anything. Tarmogoyf. Yep, that's a good card. Come on, land. Fucking fuck. Shit, dicks, ass. Okay. We have probably just lost this game. Because Urza's Saga will die putting an enchantment in the graveyard, which makes Tarmogoyf bigger. And missing that land drop, devastating. That would have been Liliana to just clean up the Tarmogoyf, and now we're just like playing like a joke. Alright, you have a Liliana, but you can't really plus it. because these racks are too dangerous. All right, come on. Untapped land off the top. Okay. Float colorless. Get... Do I want Nile Spellbomb? I think I want Expedition Map, actually. That seems like a future considerations interested thing. Expedition Map. Shock in the Watery Grave right on time. Liliana, take out this Tarmogoyf. Now let's get weird. You can't really plus your Liliana. I can, gleefully. Uh-oh, Bloodbraid Elf. Yeah, that stumble where Tarmogoyf got to attack for a turn, I'm a land behind, all of that. No construct tokens. Ren and 6 gets to kill Liliana for free if it even cares, which I don't think it does. Oh, I would have put a card in my hand, but that's me. Alright, deck. Fatal Push. Okay. I'm gonna Expedition Map for, I think, just basic Swamp, then basic Swamp, kill Bloodbraid Elf. Not pretty. Falling behind here. These racks are going to end the game doing 0 damage. Ren and 6 is just going to keep their hand full for the rest of the game. Grist. Cool. Alright, I need Kaito to bring the ruckus here. Nile Spellbomb is not the worst thing I've ever seen. Nor is it particularly helpful right now. Like, Kaito making a ninja. Kaito can protect himself, but that doesn't really matter. I could just Nile Spellbomb. That's not even good. None of this is helpful or important. I guess I'll play Spellbomb and pass the turn. This lets me drown this turn and draw a card next turn. Or draw a card now if they go for Ren. I don't know. This window closed, missing that land drop. Unplayable. Alright, I am gonna stuff the Ren where I can. I know they have another fetch land in hand, but let's at least do what I can do here. Did find a land. Ignoble Hierarch. Oh, they found a very good land to recur. And a bunch of creatures. Yeah, I think we're good here. I can't... This deck doesn't play from behind very well. Game 1, finding that Raven Man on turn 2, and then game 2, me missing my land drop for that one turn is the difference. Like, you really need to push and play from ahead, and I'm not able to do that here. I'm so far behind. There's not a card that can... Like, I could sweep up the creatures, then they just rebuild with the planeswalkers. This is not going to happen. We're on to the next round here. I'm done. For the absolute best Magic the Gathering apparel on the market, check out the link in the video description to coalesceapparel.shop, and be sure to use the code BoshNRoll for 10% off when you check out. On the draw for round 4, I am going to keep this on the strength of Urborg, but it also needs blue mana. I am now convinced, having played 3 rounds with this deck and keeping this hand, that these Mistress Factories are not good. Like, maybe play 2 of them if you really need a way to, like, Expedition Map for another win con, but, like, this card is worse than Urza's Saga in every conceivable way, while making hands unkeepable. I think we just need some more fetch lands. And we're playing against Burn. They just suspended Riftbolt. Be a great time to draw Inquisition. Okay. Look at me. I'm the Burn deck now. I should have cast that off Mishra's Factory so I can block Eidolon of the Great Revel in the future. That was loose. Suspended another Riftbolt and Lava Spike. Okay. Nile Spellbomb. Specifically unhelpful. There's also not a Shadow Spear in this deck, which I'm willing to believe is a mistake. I can Nile Spellbomb, try to draw a card, and get these Drowns online. Or I could Urza's Saga. I don't think racing's going to happen. There's not an artifact that gains life in my deck. Okay, I'm going to play the Factory. I'm not going to block with Factory this turn, so I might as well get the Spellbomb in play where I can draw a card. Try to make something happen here. Weirdly, this game doesn't feel that bad if we're on the play. Like, if I play Liliana this turn and plus, and they're down to 2 cards in hand, and the rack starts working, but Liliana being behind the gun here is a problem. Well, there's Goblin Guide. Goblin Guide reveals Inquisition of Kozilek. Right on time for that one as well. And in the end step, I will bomb you and draw a card. I don't mind exiling their graveyard because I'm pretty far away from casting these Drowns anyway. I'm going to play Urza Saga and Inquisition my opponent. What do we got? Searing Blaze, Lightning Bolt. All right. These are both horrible. They both kill my Mishra's Factory. Searing Blaze does 3 damage while it does it, though, so I'm going to take Blaze. All right, Lightning Bolt, land in hand. I'm not going to Thoughtseize them. They just cast the other one in response and I die. But if they do fire up Bolt in the end step, all right, they seem to know how Mishra's Factory works. Making their attack. Fatal Push on top. Gonna animate Factory. See if I get to block here. Block. Okay. Got to blocks. So I do get to make it a 3/3. And they can choose to bolt it here and keep Goblin Guide running, but they just saw Fatal Push off the top of the deck, so I don't think that's the play. Lightning Bolt, target me. Is that the bolt I saw? I guess it is. Okay. I'm at 6. And I'm at 3. Okay. Sacred Foundry is the last card in their hand. Time to race, I guess. I'm gonna play this Mishra's Factory and hope that they brick right now. If they brick for 2 turns, I'm okay. And these Drown in the Loch's so close to being what I need. Okay, brick this draw and brick the next one. That's what I need from you. Light request. In the end step, make my construct. Then search up Shadow Spear. JK, I don't have one. Okay, do I... There's no route to blue mana. There's no Mox Opal I could search up, which is what I would really want here. I could just float an attack for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I'm not doing anything with the mana anyway. All right. I'll make the construct. We're in here. Get a second rack probably. Could take a 2-turn line, but they're dead next turn anyway. So like getting Expedition Map, searching for blue mana, and yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I'm just getting a second rack. And I'm playing Aether Spell Bomb, and one of us is dead right now. Thank you for 5. I have a 5/5 blocker, don't need to leave up Fatal Push, and I'm either going to take 3 from a spell, or I'm not. Please draw a Goblin Guide. Arid Mesa, Sacred Foundry, 1 mystery card in hand. Eidolon the Great Revel. Ah, boo! Alright, fine, whatever. That was the card they drew this turn. Yeah, whatever. I mean, fading 2 draw steps from burn when you're at 3 is the nightmare scenario, but we almost did it. I win that game on the play. Interesting. Right now, bring in Flusterstorm and Collective Brutality. I put a bunch of those in the sideboard specifically with this matchup in mind. And Chalice is really interesting because it's good, but also stops a lot of what I'm trying to do. But I think the old "it will hurt them more" adage applies here. Yeah, I'll just gas up on those spells. I think. Is that right? Getting Chalice in? Like, is Flusterstorm, Collective Brutality plus all my natural discard enough here? I'm taking out all of this cute shit, all this long game shit, because there's not going to be any of those things to worry about. Tourach's pretty bad. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's enough bad cards here that I would just roll with it. Yeah, everything that does damage to them or makes their hand smaller is good here. Do I want Thoughtseize in the deck? That's the last question mark. Like, I could cut Thoughtseize, which... I mean, Thoughtseize, you usually end up on life. Like, do Thoughtseize and take something that's going to deal 3 or 4 damage at the cost of 2 damage. And being at 5 instead of 3 would have won me last game. But what would I bring in instead? Am I bringing in, like, Kaitos? Just as a way to push forward once I get stability? Because you can't sit around forever against burn either. This also reduces my Chalice friction. Okay, I'll try this. I don't think like Kaito is specifically good against burn, but I think that Thoughtseize is specifically not good. Also specifically not good, no black mana. We're gonna mulligan this one. Okay, I can keep this. It's not really pretty, but I'm in. And I think I have to send Smallpox. Not having an answer to a creature. All right, I do have an answer to a creature. It's Mishra's Factory. All right, Smallpox on the bottom. Let's go. I'm going to play the rack this turn off of Factory, and then I'll play Chalice next turn, and then hope that Mishra's Factory can tangle with whatever their 1-drop was long enough to stabilize the game. So Lightning Bolt go. You love to see it. Hate shocking this in, but I think Chalice is going to be worth it. Okay, let's see if I can find a black source or another land in time to take advantage of this Chalice. This is where I just draw Inquisition of Kozilek over and over. Right, I have that card beat on board with the Mishra's Factory. Oh, that helps too. Interesting. I'm going to play Liliana. It cost me 2 life in a spot where I'm already stable, but I think that clearing this thing out is going to be better for me. And then the plussing Liliana is going to be great. But the Chalice does lock things in their hand that are easy to discard to Lily. Oh, another one. That's fine. Now I can plus Lily while hiding under Mishra's Factory. I'm going to play Watery Grave tapped and plus Lily. I'm going to discard this Wrench Mind. Discarded a land, not a 1-drop. That's medium to high levels of terrifying. Not going to lie. That means they can kill my Mishra's Factory with a 2-drop. They've seen the factory trick. If they have an attack here, then they probably have a removal spell also. Gotta be Lightning Helix, because 1-drops don't work, and Boros Charm doesn't target creatures. Yep, they have exactly the thing. Okay. Alright, Kaito, I need you to win this game for me. Kaito Shizuki. I take 2 here. I make a 1/1. Unblockable 1/1 ninja. And pass the turn. Chalice of the Void's got to hold up against this handful of spells now. And Kaito phases out in the end step, does some ninja shit. So don't have to worry about that getting attacked. Oh, we have Searing Blaze. Cool, 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 cool. I'm glad I brought in Chalice of the Void. It's done nothing. Nothing at all. It's had 0 effect on this game at all. They didn't even discard a 1-drop to the Liliana when I plussed her. Okay, I mean, that's a good card. I'm going to draw and discard with Kaito. Discard Wrench Mind. I'm actually just going to... yeah, I'm just going to kill this now. Because Boros Charm can make this card indestructible, which I guess I'm literally dead to Boros Charm anyway, so that doesn't matter. But I'm going to do what I can do here. Alright, Chalice of the Void. You're up, buddy. Just Boros Charm. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Chalice of the Void did nothing. 0 1-drops involved in that game at all. They bolted me turn 1. Didn't even wait till like Chalice was on the stack. They're just like, land, bolt, you go. And then cast 0 1-drops. Didn't discard a 1-drop to Liliana. Just 2-dropped me into the dust. Maybe that's an argument against Chalice, or maybe that was just a weird fucking game. I don't know. Alright, on to the final round. I'm on the draw in round 5. This hand is functional. I'm in. Let's go. No companions this whole league. That's been interesting. Bloodstainmire, go. I'm gonna Polluted Delta and pass. Because I want to get this drawn in the Loch online, and I have 2 Urborgs. I'm gonna sack the first one to my first Smallpox. Blood Crypt is tapped. Okay. Some Rakdos action here. Dothy Voidwalker. I'll fetch in response. And at least it's a creature. They will get in exile whatever I discard here, because the discard happens before the sacrifice. They don't get the land, they do get the discard, which hopefully doesn't matter. Alright. It won't matter unless they have another Voidwalker. But let's POX you anyway. I'm gonna discard Polluted Delta. I have 1 blue source, that's the number that I need to play a game on. And sack Urborg. Oh, they discarded a second Voidwalker, so that was not... Either they have 3 of them, or that's just not the plan. Drawn on the Loch can hit like anything at this point. Alright, so 3 of them is the correct answer. I'm going to just kill this thing now. I don't want them to untap and be able to... I guess there's only a Polluted Delta in exile, so maybe I should have held on to that. Liliana next turn. This is almost certainly a Croxa deck. I hope they cast some creature that dies to Liliana. Let me curve out here. Shocked and Blood Crypt and then didn't do anything with the mana. Concerning. Alright, here's Liliana. I have enough black here that I think I just want to discard Urborg. Or is this Mistvault Bridge just bad? I mean, this is why Mistvault Bridge is in the deck, right? To put it in the graveyard and you can recur it later if you want it. Yeah, I'm going to hold on to Urborg. There's a chance I need triple black next turn. Tourach is in my deck somewhere. Polygon's command in response, making me discard a card. Alright, I'm losing Mistvault Bridge and Urborg, it turns out. Yeah, I'll discard Urborg. It's fine. I think the Mishra's Factories are a real win con here. Finally time for them to earn their weight. Grief in the graveyard. So this is the Rakdos scam deck. 4 mana. No Kroxa in the graveyard. We know Voidwalker's in hand. It's easy peasy. Alright, yeah, that discards the Voidwalker that they just picked up and makes a 1/1 and gets 2 fresh ones. Oh, that's a lot of that card. Well, I'll play another one. And let's discard some cards, everybody. Discarded a mountain. Okay. Gotta work through this Pyromancer now. Alright, I'm just gonna go all in here. This is the newly controlled one. If they have Kolaghan's command, I am beyond dead. And if they don't, I'm in a good spot. Okay, I'm gonna block the 2/2 with my 3/3 and the 1/1 with my 2/2. Pump itself before damage. And how'd we do? Their creatures are all in the graveyard. We didn't get Kolaghan's commanded. They could still Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push to clean this up, but I think they would have done that before combat damage. Oh, but we just got a shame concession. I'll take that. These kids don't know how to play around Mishra's Factory. Good shit. Ashiok's going to be big here because they use their graveyard a lot. I don't think I want Bantu. I don't want Tourach. Spellbomb could be good. Hitting Needle. I mean, Dauthi Voidwalker, I could name that, and then they can't cast the spells. Kaito's card selection, I think I do want. I want all these removal spells. I think I do want all my racks. Reasonable chance to race. But if opponents getting themselves hellbent anyway, maybe Wrenchmind isn't great. Okay. I'm going to try this. Let's do it. Do I want Flusterstorms for Bane Deaths and Kolaghan's commands? And if so, what am I cutting? Just like another Wrenchmind. And I want Fatal Push. I want Bloodchief Thirst. I want the early discard. Maybe Thoughtseize is bad. Alright. I think this deck is more proactive than me, which means I want to lean into my reactive posture and not try to out-proactive the more proactive deck. So cutting discard for counterspells makes sense to me there. Maybe that's flawed. Or if we're both playing from Hellbent, a counterspell is better than a discard spell. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know if it's going to hold up the way I want it to. I'm going to keep this hand and see how hard I get scammed on turn 1. I got something. Yep, we're getting scammed. There's Grief. Nothing I can do about it. We're going to lose 2 cards and then have to play against a Grief here. They pitch Tourach. Cast the Grief. Took Consign to Oblivion. Okay. Oh, interesting. Just on Ragavan instead. Come on, Fatal Push. Yeah. Finally something going my way. I think I should wait until combat. Like, if they feign Death Ragavan, it's whatever, versus, like, just dashing a second copy. I don't think they have feign Death, or they would have played it last turn. Here's this card you didn't know about. Finally, something's coming up my way. Oh, they kept a 1-lander. Gross. Urza's Saga gets to play the rack. Opponent complaining in the chat about drawing Fatal Push. I mean, yeah. I should put it in my deck to draw it. And now I'm protecting an Urza Saga line with Flusterstorm, and they're just rage quitting on turn 3? Okay, we take those after this, the way this league has gone. Finally, a little luck broke my way. Okay, a 2 and 3 record, and definitely some problems with the mana here. I think we just want to cut 2 of these Mishra's Factories, at least 2 of these Mishra's Factories, for some black fetch land. Just call it Marsh Flats, I guess. Already maxed out on Delta, which we don't need to be. That is, like, exposing us to, like, Pithing Needle for no reason. This could also just be Verdant Catacombs. And if you want to split them further, you can get some Bloodstained Mires. It doesn't matter as long as they're black. That gives me 6 fetches with 6 fetchables. I think that's fine. The Mistvault Bridge kind of whack, honestly. Making the constructs bigger did come up a few times, but also not Inquisitioning on turn 1 came up once. I don't think that's a good idea. The decision, like, I want another blue-black dual land in here, and the decision is, do I want it to be a fast land, a slow land, a check land, a fetchable land? And I'm out of fetchable options. I'm not putting a Triome in here for that. I think Darkslick Shores is the right one. I think that with the Sagas dying and you casting Smallpox so often that you'll have under 3 lands more often than you have more than 3 lands for the slow land version of this, or there are times where you need your black source to back up, like Urza Saga and Mishra's Factory, where a Darkwater Catacomb, is that what that card's called? The check land, if you have an island or swamp, it's untapped. I think that's unreliable. I think Darkslick Shores will be the most reliable Underground Sea variant that we got here. Immediately fixing the mana makes this deck better. As much as I had high hopes for him, Kaito didn't do anything. Actually pretty bad all around. Shadow Spear should be in this deck, for sure. I think that the Expedition map should just be Shadow Spear in the main. Being able to really get out of reach or like put the boots to an opponent who's stumbling. We would have won that burn matchup if there was a Shadow Spear in the deck. So, real cost to that one. There's 2 slots in the sideboard now. I mean, the main deck looks way better already. 2 slots now in the sideboard where we can target something specific, like go after Tron or go after 4-color. I mean, like, we could just play 2 Torpor Orbs. I have Tourach. Okay. It does hurt me a little bit, but Torpor Orb shuts down 4-color in a pretty big way. And they have answers to it in their deck, but they got to have them through your Wall of Discard. That could be a place to go. Reign of Tears is legal in Modern. That's just black, 1, destroy target land. I did consider that when I was building the deck, but I went with Fulminator Mage instead, which I think you'll get more mileage out of. We could play Liliana the Last Hope, but she doesn't really do that much against the format. Like, she's really good against Hammer and nothing else. And even against Hammer, she's like medium. She kills Memnite and everything else is an X2. Or isn't a creature on your turn. Yeah, I'm not on that. We don't get a cool discard Titan. Those were blue, green, and red, black. The Scarab God cost too much mana, and we don't really play any creatures. In Murktide Region was a problem. We could just put actual Doomblade in the deck. Oh, this is a cool foil or promo version of Doomblade I've never seen before. I still like this one the best. All right, I'm going to put 1 Doomblade in the deck out of respect for Murktide Regent. That also kills Omnath. Maybe this is something I'm interested in a larger number. And the deck has so much removal in it already. It is like all conditional though. All right, I'm going to put 1 Doomblade in and figure out something else for this last slot. I do kind of like the idea of just some card draw engine. Kaito was clearly not the right one. And you could just jam Jace the Mind Sculptor in this deck, but you're trying to play the game on low resources, and usually I like the idea that getting 1 blue mana is enough for the game, and you don't really have to prioritize Watery Grave after that. And Jace totally flips the script on that. We could do Unlicensed Hearse, or Necromentia, or could just go with that Torpor Orb I mentioned. Just an untutorable one of though, but it does play into the artifact theme where even if it's destroyed, we can get it back. Okay, I'm going with Torpor Orb. Season to taste, change it for your metagame, but I gotta sign off on this video, and that's 75 cards there. That looks a lot better than the 75 I just played. Matthew, thank you for sending me this brew challenge. It is fun to go take these rough lists through leagues and learn in real time. A little different experience than playing an established deck and just winning more matches, but this is what the brew process looks like. We go in with an idea, well-reasoned cards. They come out in practice, not looking so hot, and then you have to change them, and then you go into another league, and you tune from there. And this looks like a nice phase 2 of this deck to move forward with. Everybody, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the links in the video description, the Patreon, all that other stuff that supports the channel. It's down there. And I will see you for the next video.